Hi, I'm Dr. Allison Smith. I'm a professor at UMass Global, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about UDL, Universal Design for Learning. This is a wonderful framework that educators use to really connect with all types of students. It is a proactive way to assume learner variability. Not all learners are the same. Your students learn in different ways. They can show their knowledge in different ways, and they have different interests and backgrounds. So, UDL is a wonderful way to ensure that your lessons are connecting with all students. And the wonderful thing about UDL is that it assumes already in the beginning that students have different needs and different ways of learning instead of teaching and then kind of retrofitting a lesson and trying to make it fit for students. It's just upfront through the planning. You know that your students are going to be learning in different ways, and you are going to design lessons that encourage and include all many different ways to be learning and how to engage with who the students are and how they like to showcase who they are and what they know. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay. So, just to reiterate, the Universal Design for Learning is a framework for designing instruction that works with all learners. It anticipates the learner variability, as I stated, from the start instead of afterward, retrofitting a lesson to make it fit all the different students you have. And then it focuses on removing barriers instead of fixing students. You know out of the gate that there's going to be variability. So, you want to design for that. It emphasizes learner choice and flexibility. And when students do have choice and flexible ways that they can show, like, okay, write or do a video or do a project, a model that shows it, they can show it in the way that they're strongest, and you can ensure they're engaged and learning the content instead of getting kind of fixated or stuck on the way that they show what they know. So within UDL, there's three core principles: multiple means of engagement. This is why learners engage. Multiple means of representation, what learners learn. And then multiple means of action and expression. And this is how learners demonstrate what they've learned. So with these three core principles, you're going to be utilizing this in your lesson planning. This is a requirement of the CalTPA. The CalTPA, in the templates, the prompts will specifically ask you, how do you incorporate UDL, the UDL framework in your different strategies that you use in your lesson plans? So it's important to understand what UDL is, why we use it, and then different ways you can incorporate it into your lesson plans with your students. Many districts are also offering professional development opportunities and requiring teachers to show that they're utilizing UDL. In many classrooms, you will see UDL visuals, the placemat on the wall, or you will hear people talking about how UDL is used throughout all of classrooms. So I'm going to show you a very useful tool, a website, and it's through the CAST organization, and they in their website make it really easy to navigate and get some great ideas of what you can do in your lesson plans to ensure that UDL is present. Uh, it also affirms some of the things that you're already doing. You are probably already using UDL and you don't even know it. So the website gives you ideas of, oh, this is what I'm doing. And then it puts words to it. So you can frame what you do through the lens of UDL. And then it also gives a spotlight on things that maybe you're not doing or you could do in a better way that's more inclusive to all the different learners in your classroom. So I'm going to stop share and switch to that website. Give me 1 second. Here we are. Okay, so this is the CAST website that you can see. Uh, UDL guidelines. This is an image that you may have seen already. It has the three columns, the green, purple, and blue. This visual is very important for you to know because this is the interactive table that will make understanding and utilizing UDL in your lesson plans very easy. So through here, I recommend you scroll down, read about what UDL is and explaining it. Then you get down here to the guidelines. I find that this interactive website is extremely helpful. So you'll see here, you remember the three core principles I explained in the beginning, and they are color coded. Green is multiple means of engagement. Purple is multiple means of representation, and then blue is the multiple means of action and expression. So you can go down here, and each row represents a different aspect of teaching. There's on here, you can see access, support, and executive function. So that shows you the three different major areas. And then within those areas, you can find ways and better understand the different aspects. So, design options for welcoming interest and identities. I'm just going to go through this as an example so you can see how it's interactive. So, you can see that it's optimized choice and autonomy. Okay, think I want to learn more about that. You click on it and it takes you specifically to this section of the table. Also note, you see the table over here? It's got a dot on the area we're at within the table. You can move to different areas on this visual as well, and that's consistent throughout the entire website. So optimize choice and autonomy. So it gives you information about this section, and then it gives you some ideas of how you would embed choices that align with the learning goals. Um, the content to explore, tools used for exploration or production, type of rewards, recognition available. And then you can go and get even more granular and get deeper into what this means and look at different considerations. Optimize relevance, value, and authenticity. So we're going to click on that. We're still in the same box, but we're just diving a little deeper and deeper as we click into it. So this explains it and it gives you different ideas, vary activities and sources of information so they can be personalized and contextualized to learners' lives. So if you learn who your students are, you should know how to personalize it to them because you know who they are. So you make the activities relevant to their lives. You're building on their assets. Make it culturally relevant, socially relevant, age and ability appropriate, on and on. So you can learn more about each aspect of UDL this way. And it comes down here, maybe you want to look at, we're already on this one, optimizing choice and autonomy. Maybe you want to click on address biases, threats, and distractions. So we're going to click on that. Brief explanation, very to the point, tells you exactly why it's important and what it is. And then it gives you some ideas on how to do that. So now let's say we want to jump to the next column, and I'm just going to click on that, and I can go to the different areas of the table. So I want to look at maybe multiple means of action and expression. So let's see, use multimedia for communication. So I'm going to click on that, and it takes me right to that point. I know where I'm at in the table because the dot is there, and I can read about it and look at what it is and some different ideas of how to do this. Then I can also dive deeper into this action and expression and communication area. I can look at different things, different aspects of it. So build fluencies with graduated support for practice and performance. Maybe that's not something you're familiar with. Click on it, couple paragraphs, read through it, you'll better understand it, and then some ideas on how to do that within your lesson plan. All right. So I hope that's been helpful in navigating this website. This is the best resource for you understanding UDL and thinking about ways that you can utilize it in your own lesson plans. Remember that UDL is a core part of lesson planning for the CalTPA. It's also extremely important as an effective educator that you utilize this UDL framework. So you are inclusive of all your students, you are getting them engaged, they are authentically able to go through and meet the learning goals and hit those standards that they need to do in a more engaging way. So they're not left out. They'll be more successful if you design lesson plans that have different flexibilities and ways of learning and showing what they know. You will find that while you can't maybe do it in every single lesson, if you do this in the majority of your lessons, you'll see your students be more successful, engaged, and do better on the assessments that you're having them do. It's also uh, a critical aspect of effective educators throughout California. And so you'll see from the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, this is a core value to what an effective teacher in California is. So think about that, utilize the CAST website, go through it. As you're lesson planning, you can just click around and get ideas. You can also just kind of double check yourself. Am I offering some different flexibilities? Am I connecting to who the students are? And you can go through there, get ideas, and then expand and improve how you're doing your lesson plans. I hope this has been helpful. Bye.